Brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Ministry of Health takes another significant step to strengthen healthcare services throughout the country. The initiative is a first step in the ongoing implementation of the National Health Insurance Scheme. And as Carla Palmer tells us tonight, the plan is to provide affordable health services to residents nationwide.
With the Bahamas an archipelagic nation of islands and keys, providing on-the-spot health services to residents over the years has been a serious challenge. But beginning today, that's all about to change. Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Perry Gomez, announced what's being described as an historic move of ensuring residents on every inhabited island of the Bahamas have access to affordable healthcare services.
No one has to explain to me the importance of a good doctor, a good nurse, and a good clinic to the quality of life for a family island community. The quality of these healthcare services can be limited when there is a shortage of capable, qualified medical doctors to staff family island clinics.
As a result, for the very first time, officials say 8 qualified physicians specializing in family medicine will be deployed in 8 of the major islands of the Bahamas. The move in effect since September 1st.
The doctors who complete this intensive program are family medicine specialists who have broad knowledge, understanding of health and illness, and their dynamics in the community, particularly in relation to the existing of socioeconomic and cultural conditions.
First in the phased approach include the Berry Islands, Exuma, San Salvador, and Bimini. Those in the front line of this historic move, Doctors Phyllis Darville, Nicole Adderley, and Keisha Smith, say they are willing, able, and ready to make a difference.
For the most part, they usually have to transfer to Nassau to get adequate care at times because the islands aren't fully staffed with physicians. So I feel grateful for this opportunity to provide the service.
Nassau is saturated with physicians, and the family island patients have always been limited to access. And so I understand the need for physicians to go out and to take care of the residents of the Bahamas.
I did family medicine in view of or in light of going to the family islands because I know we had a deficit in the family islands.
With the reported 30 inhabited islands of the Bahamas, Chief Medical Officer at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Glenn Benaby, talks about the next group of doctors expected to be deployed.
In general, the major deployment occurs once every 12 months because that is when we have the graduates and that is when we recruit at the beginning of the budget year.
Health officials promise to continue upgrading the quality of healthcare throughout the country. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Social Services and Community Development rebranded its national hotline today. A well-organized team of hotline volunteers have been working around the clock to improve the quality of its product through public service announcements, a newly launched website, and catchy jingles they feel will renew the interest of the public in reporting persons in distress. Minister of Social Services and Community Development, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, says the hotline does work and encourage all Bahamians to take full advantage of it. She also gave an update on cases reported over a 5-year period.
Since the institution of the National Hotline, there have been a total of 1,102 reported cases. The types of matters reported include custody, child abuse, requests for shelter, access, child abandonment, suicide, financial assistance requests, behavioral problems, counseling requests, mental health issues, and domestic violence matters, among many others. I can attest to the fact that the National Hotline works.
Founder Andy Gomez of Grant Thornton and Company says his team partnered with several key stakeholders to enhance the training levels of all employees.
People need to be given hope. And based on our experience beginning in 2010 with the hotline, people are frustrated, generally need somebody to talk to. And really, once they have somebody to talk to, they tend to feel a little bit better. And then hope is instilled, and that is a good thing. Moving forward, we've as a group, and not necessarily one entity, but moving forward, we have decided to make a commitment to the hotline through 2030. And in order to do that, we have contracted with Dr. Timothy Barrett and his group, and they have agreed to take over the training of social service workers.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, which comes under the Financial Service Ministry, recently participated in a calibration of weights workshop in Quito, Ecuador. The objective was to provide a unique hands-on training experience for key personnel of the BBSQ. Financial Services Minister, the Honorable Hope Strawn, praised the progress of the Bahamas Bureau in pursuing opportunities for technical officers. The minister noted that the process of standardization will most likely result in increased trade flows that would undoubtedly create a stronger Bahamian economy. In other business news, a leading global provider of asset management solutions for the telecommunications industry, NAAP Global Solutions Limited, announcing that the Bahamas Telecommunications Company selected its network asset lifecycle management platform as the end-to-end solution to address its asset management needs. BTC officials said the biggest challenge was to find a company that not only offers a software solution for its asset management needs, but one that also has the capacity, knowledge, and manpower to help it assess the current status of its tower infrastructure. And in international business news, unofficially, the world got a glimpse of the woolliest sheep. His name is Chris. He was found wandering near the Australian capital. The animal who was rescued had difficulty walking as he labored under the weight of his coat. Officials say it's estimated that the animal had about 5 years worth of wool, or about 30 sweaters worth on him. The 88 pounds of wool it had on it means that Chris was unofficially the carrier of the world's heaviest fleet. It was too long to be sold commercially, but officials hope it ends up in a museum. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.
The Celebration of Women Awards Foundation held its much-anticipated awards ceremony last night. Clint Watson tells us that the guest speaker offered words of wisdom to not just honorees, but women around the world.
33 women honored Wednesday night at the Government House. Celebrating Women International held a naming ceremony for their 2015 Women of Distinction honorees. Among them, doctors, educators, policewomen, attorneys, cultural icons, and others who have contributed to the positive development of the Bahamas. Guest speaker was the daughter of the Anglican Archbishop of Cape Town, South Africa, Desmond Tutu, Miss Nontombi Naomi Tutu. The race and gender activist, in a spirited address, saluted the women on their achievements, noting that women of distinction are among us in our everyday lives, toiling to ensure the best for family, community, nation, and indeed the world.
The women of distinction I have known in my life, many of whom we will never know, others will not know their names. And so as I thought about that, I thought that what I wanted to do is to remind us how actually common it is to meet women of distinction, and to ask each of us to think of the women of distinction in our own lives who have brought us to where we are today. And I start my story of women of distinction with two women who have been role models for me throughout my life, my two grandmothers.
Tutu's story of women of distinction resonated among the packed audience, including Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling. And like Tutu's grandmother, many of the honorees came from working-class families where the mothers were domestic workers, including straw vendors and maids. Yet they sacrificed to ensure that their children received a quality education.
And yet this domestic worker managed to send her daughter, my mother, to boarding school, which at that time in South Africa for black South Africans was what middle-class black South Africans did. My mother was educated with the children of teachers and doctors and lawyers, and never thought about how is it that my mother, a domestic worker, is able to send me here, because my grandmother let her know that she belonged in those places of great learning.
The Celebrating Women International 2015 Women of Distinction Awards will culminate early next month with an awards presentation and concert. Congratulations to all 33 honorees. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
We introduce you to a Long Islander who used to live abroad and now has returned home to make a difference and a unique connection. Keisha Adderley introduces us to her in tonight's BTC Island Connection.
Walking the white sandy beach, waves washing your feet, soothed by Long Island breeze. It's therapy for the senses. Janae Burrows knows this to be true. She recently returned to Deadman's Key, Long Island, abandoning the city life and making an island upgrade.
Before that, I was living in the States in Atlanta, Georgia. Honestly, here is so peaceful, so relaxing, not stressed at all. And the schools is why I also decided to just stay having kids. The schools over here is excellent.
Burrows is the assistant manager of the family-owned Harbor Breeze. Colorful and comfortable, the rooms are just a stone's throw away from the beach. But like Janae, the guests have no problem alternating between tranquility and technology.
It's pretty much the same. You still get to stay connected. You have so much advanced. We're having your messaging. You stay with your Wi-Fi, your internet. You have phones where you can call local or non-local calls. So it's basically the same. Hey, just chilling out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Burrows may miss the city life, but she doesn't miss her family and friends because she can talk to them even from a lounge chair.
So what do guests say?
Well, they love it, actually. They get, like I said, they come away for a vacation, to come away from, everyday life, but they still will get to be able to check on their family back home with no problem at all.
Burrows has no immediate plans to leave the tranquility of Long Island anytime soon, and as far as she's concerned, the city is just a click or call away. Keisha Adderley for the BTC Island Connection.